Three warehouses, one state. Why officials say this fire season has been their busiest for getting supplies to fire crews. Wildfire worries ablaze inches closer to the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. And mysterious disappearance. Police continue to search for the construction worker who went missing on the job.
You're watching KTUU, Channel 2, Anchorage, Alaska's news source. And now, the state's #1 evening news team. This is the Channel 2 News Late Edition.
Good evening, everyone. What's on track to be the busiest fire season the state has ever seen has the Department of Forestry stretched thin, and that doesn't just apply to the people on the front lines. Channel 2's Nikki Carvajal went to the state's fire warehouse in Palmer today, where the people behind the scenes are responsible for providing everything from food to shovels for firefighters across the state.
Things are just now starting to slow down here at the State Fire Warehouse in Palmer. As the Card Street and the Sockeye fires have wrapped up, the cleaning and restocking have begun during a fire season that's been anything but typical.
Busier than we've ever been.
The work that's happening today is all about cleaning up after a very dirty job. From laundry to packing materials.
A lot of tedious work, but good work.
Warehouse manager Jerry Webster says logistically it can be a challenge because just about everything that leaves here must come back.
Those are all the filled packs that have to still be processed, washed, taken apart, put back together, and make sure that they all work properly.
Webster says she's never seen a summer this busy.
We're down to 14 hours a day working from 16. So the 2 hours is an amazing break.
Shelves have been sitting empty since early on in the season.
Where we're normally stocked, we're just running low this year.
80,000 AA batteries have come from the warehouse so far. That's 4 times what they would move in an entire season.
Everything's more than doubled.
Like the 200 miles of hose.
We'll probably send out 75 miles of hose on a normal year.
Laid out, it would stretch along the highway from Palmer to Kenai. And it all comes back here to get tested.
And if it can't hold pressure, then there's no real point in having it because it's not going to be able to put any fires out or anything like that.
Washed and re-rolled.
The warehouse here is now focused on supporting other fires across the state, particularly in the interior, at least for now, while the fire activity in South Central remains calm. In Palmer, Nikki Carvajal, Channel 2 News.
The Trans-Alaska Pipeline continues to be threatened near Pump Station 7 by the Aggie Creek wildfire that has grown nearly 3,000 acres overnight. The 28,000-acre fire now has 520 firefighters working to contain it. 2.5 miles of burnout operations along the pipeline were completed near milepost 39 of the Elliott Highway. Fire is about 29% contained. The blaze was caused by lightning, and it's estimated to have cost $7.8 million to date. And besides the Aggie Creek fire, an additional 304 wildfires are actively burning across the state. The total acreage of land that has been scorched so far this year has burned this season is 4.2 million. Officials say that of the total 667 wildfires this year, almost half were human-caused. The cause of the Sockeye fire that destroyed dozens of homes in Willow last month is expected to be announced later this week. A man and woman were stabbed this morning in a case of domestic violence in Fairview. The fight broke out around 3:30 a.m. in an alleyway near the intersection of East 12th Avenue and Orca Street, where one of the victims lives. The man was transported to a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries, while the woman was treated at the scene. No charges have been filed at this time. APD reports the 2 people involved are not being cooperative with police. The incident is under investigation. The search continues for a construction worker who went missing from his Eagle River construction site yesterday morning. 38-year-old Vasily Basargin was last seen walking away from the construction site at the 18,000 block of Upper McCrary Road when he told a coworker he was going to grab a drink and use the restroom, but he never returned. Basargin's cell phone and tool belt were still at the site. Police say there are no signs or indications of where he might have gone. Basargin is a man with a past. He was previously convicted of DUI, assault, and robbery in a series of crashes almost exactly 10 years ago. Vasily is described as a white man, about 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighs about 200 pounds, with balding brown hair and a long beard. He was last seen wearing a dark blue t-shirt, black work pants, and brown work boots. Police ask if you see Vasily to call them at 786-8900. The state's lean budget has forced the University of Alaska Anchorage to cut some of its less popular programs. UAA went through a prioritization program a couple of years ago and identified programs its students were losing interest in. As a result, 21 programs will be eliminated from the institution. University Provost Samuel Gingrich says the majority of the programs cut are certifications that are subsets of other majors and will only impact about 100 to 150 students. Some of the programs include massage therapy, paralegals, and clinical assistants. Some will still be offered as individual classes, but not complete course certifications. The engineering department at UAA will no longer offer its computer science major, which was a joint effort between the Anchorage and Fairbanks campuses.
The total cost savings that we put on this whole process over the next 3 to 4 years as we teach out the programs that are being eliminated is probably on the order of, a couple $100,000, $250,000.
The university will allow students who are in any of the programs that are being cut to finish those courses, but in 3 to 4 years, those programs will be completely eliminated. Well, a mix of clouds and sun over the weekend. Let's check in with Tracy with a first look at the forecast and what we can expect this upcoming work week. Okay, Tracy.
Well, Caslin, a bit more of the same. We're not expecting much of a change in the weather pattern over the next few days. Here's a live look outside, and it is 64 degrees out at Stevens International Airport, but we're seeing some strong winds, and that's causing, so here in the Anchorage area, things being a little bit gusty, but rain showers throughout the south central area, seeing some pretty strong showers moving through the Susitna Valley, also areas around Prince William Sound and the southern Kenai, eastern Kenai Peninsula saw some rain. Cordova saw almost 3/4 of an inch of rain in the past 24 hours. I'll have the full forecast in just a few minutes. Caslin?
All right, thanks, Tracy. Up next on the late edition, a vote yesterday will now allow thousands to join the state's second largest Native corporation.
You're watching Channel 2 News with Caslin Hatch. This is the Channel 2 News Late Edition.
It's good news for the state's second largest Native corporation as it voted to triple its numbers of shareholders yesterday. Members of the Calista Corporation voted yesterday to allow people born after 1971, also known as afterborns, and those who missed the original deadline to become shareholders of the corporation. This decision will benefit thousands of people as the corporation ranks will grow from its current 13,000 members to between 38 and 43,000 people. The new policy will allow eligible people to become corporation shareholders under the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act, and they will receive the same 100 shares each that original members received. 3 people were sent to the hospital today when a pickup truck rolled off of Juneau's Glacier Highway. The Juneau Police Department said that the Ford F-250 crashed just before 5 this morning near mile 20 of the Glacier Highway. Passersby stopped to help the injured driver and 2 passengers. A 3rd passenger reported no injuries. Officials closed the highway for about a half an hour as the injured people were loaded into ambulances and transported to Bartlett Regional Hospital. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to call Juneau Police at 586-0600. 2 people were injured after their motorcycle drove off the Glen Highway this afternoon. Alaska State Troopers say the crash happened at mile 73 on the Glen, roughly 30 miles past Palmer. The wreck was originally reported to Mat-Su Valley dispatchers around 12:20 p.m. One person who was injured was medevac to Anchorage, while the other was transported by ambulance to Mat-Su Regional Medical Center. Several hundred people were in Kenai this weekend for the opening of the dip netting season. More than 300 people gathered on the Kenai River yesterday to search for salmon using dip nets. The Department of Fish and Game have predicted 3.7 million sockeye salmon will be harvested during this year's fishing season. But many people have reported a lackluster opening weekend. Officials believe there will be better fishing numbers in the coming week on the Kenai Beach that is considered to be the most widely used personal dip netting beach in the state. And it was a great weekend for fishing. Actually, the weather was just perfect for it.
It turned out to be a very nice weekend overall. Saw some warm temperatures, saw some sunshine, and of course, we saw a few clouds. But hey, those clouds turned out to be quite beautiful. Dave Brooks took this video for us. We'll have the full forecast coming up next.